If you're relying on paid ads to grow, you are skipping one of the most powerful tools you have in your arsenal, which is organic marketing. In this video, I will teach you how to build a self-sustaining, sustainable marketing strategy that will cost you $0 but continue to bring you traffic and sales. Many founders believe that paid ads are the only way to grow and scale. However, if you don't have your organic marketing strategy figured out, in my humble opinion, you're just wasting all those ad dollars. I always recommend you figure it out organically and then you amplify it with paid. Because if you're just experimenting with your ad dollars, I feel like it's burning money. Unless you're in a position where you're venture backed and you have like $1 billion and can spend money on ads and it doesn't matter, then that's a different story. Most people are either bootstrapped or they want to be really careful about how they're spending their venture money. So let's talk about how you can leverage organic marketing. When it comes to organic marketing, if you're just starting out and it's just you or another co-founder, or there's not a whole team you have running your marketing, then I would probably pick 1 to 2 platforms and then couple it with email marketing. When it comes to your 1 to 2 platforms, you want to have a high traffic platform, and then you want to have a platform where you can nurture and build your community. Let me break that down. The first step in building a self-sustaining and sustainable marketing strategy is to be so strategic with the platforms you are on. I don't want you to be on every platform under the sun, because if you are on every platform, chances are that the content on every single one of those platforms isn't very good. Nowadays, you need to have really good content for someone to follow you or subscribe to you. Instead of wasting time and a lot of energy, resources, and budget being everywhere and not really having much impact, it's much better for you to be intentional and strategic about where you're being so that you can maximize your efficiency. When it comes to your platforms, I recommend you start with 3. The first one is a high traffic platform. The second one is a nurturing platform. And then the third one is going to be email marketing. The caveat here is to always think about your ideal customer. Which platforms are they on? If you are starting a B2B business, then LinkedIn probably makes sense. Or if you are starting a business that targets Gen Zs, then maybe TikTok makes sense. Or if you're starting a business and you're targeting brides, then Pinterest probably makes sense for you. Think about where your ideal customer already is and be where they are. You don't want your ideal customer to go out of their way to consume your content because they're not going to consume it. And you also don't want to spend so much time, effort, and resources creating amazing content for them only not to see it. Pick the platform based on where your ideal customer is. The first thing you want to do is have a high traffic platform so that you can continuously bring new leads into the business. Make sure it's a platform where you can get a lot of traffic. Personally, for me, my high traffic platform is YouTube and also my podcast. Your nurturing platform is a platform where you can foster a community and connections and they can talk back to you. This could look like Instagram. This could look like TikTok. This could look like LinkedIn. You always want to supplement all of your social media strategy with emails, because emails is customer real estate that you own. You're not at the beck and call of algorithms. Also, if you build up your community and your customer clientele on a social media platform and it decides to shut down, like what happened in the US with TikTok for a day or so, it would be so devastating if you just lost your entire customer list or your entire community. Having emails is that safety net. I will say selling over emails is better as well. So you always want to build up your email list too. You can click the link down below to leverage the Notion workbook to help you figure out what platforms would be best for you. Once you have those platforms, the next question is, okay, what do I post? And also, how many times do I post? How do I ensure that when I'm posting actually ladders back up to my goals, which are probably to make sales? I just wanted to reiterate that we always want to think about your ideal customer. So think about where they are, what they would resonate with, how you can help them, as well as your brand. Pull out that brand person that you decided to create and think about how you can marry both. When it comes to social media, something that can be really helpful is having content pillars so that every single day you're not just waking up and being like, oh, what should I post? But you already know what you talk about. I talk about marketing strategy, go to market. I talk about my personal lessons and updates. And I also share behind the scenes. Those are my content pillars. You can leverage the Notion workbook down below to help you figure that out. You do generally want to have some sort of value-based content. Remember, I told you previously that it takes longer and longer to nurture nowadays, and you can leverage your social media to nurture your audience. Give a ton of value, show the social proof, show the behind the scenes to be able to connect with them and build that trust and credibility. Remember that with nurturing, we are basically trying to form a friendship with your community, and that takes time. Just think in the back of your mind, okay, this is my ideal customer. This is who they are. How am I going to be able to foster a connection with them and form a relationship? That's on social media. With your email strategy, there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. The first one is always, okay, I'm going to do emails. How do I grow my email list, first of all? And then secondly, what kind of emails do I send? So I'm going to tackle the first point around how you can grow your email list. How you can do that by having a lead magnet or an opt-in. People are more protective over their emails, which makes sense. A lot of people are sending some crazy spam emails nowadays. So people are more reluctant to give you their email address. Instead of just asking for their email address, we want to give value. So you have some sort of lead magnet or opt-in that they would want. In my case, my go-to-market essentials course is on YouTube, but I collect emails by having a Notion workbook that accompanies it. So there's the value. If you give me your email, I will treat it and safeguard it, but also I will give you this Notion workbook. You can think about what would be most beneficial for your ideal customer. And I would also say nowadays, a lot of people do PDFs. So if you can do some sort of course or if you can do some sort of tutorial, just make it a little bit more high value, that would really help you stand out. The second part is, okay, I know how I'm going to grow my email list now, but what emails am I sending? For this, I would go back to the market research you have collected on your ideal customer to figure out what they would find valuable. For my email list, I send a ton of go-to-market strategies, updates, things that I've seen, reflections, case studies type of things. Those are what I send in my email newsletter, but you can figure out what's going to be best for you. From a posting cadence perspective, this is the part where I want to make sure you are making it sustainable for you. Instead of committing yourself to posting 5 times a day on Instagram, or instead of committing yourself to sending an email every single week, if you don't have a lot of time right now to be working on your marketing, that is fine. Try to figure out how much time you have. Is it 5 hours a week? Is it 2 hours a day? What does that look like? And then we're going to work around that. In other words, we are determining your posting cadence based on your capacity. We are working around your capacity so that we can make this sustainable for you. What I would do is start to figure out how long it's going to take you to either send an email or do an Instagram post or film a YouTube video or do a podcast episode or whatever the social media method is you've decided to do. From there, you can reverse engineer, okay, if it takes me 2 hours to do an Instagram post and I have 2 hours per day for social media, then maybe I commit to 4 a week so that I can batch for the next week and just be safe in that regards. Work with your capacity and don't force yourself into something. The last thing is trying to repurpose as much as you can. If you have decided to do YouTube videos, then you can slice and dice that into TikToks and Reels. You can take the transcript, post parts of it, put onto LinkedIn. There's so many things you can do. On the flip side, if you decided to write a Substack or you decided to write a really long email, you can take parts of that, put that on LinkedIn or put that into an Instagram carousel. There's so many things you can do, and you can leverage the Notion workbook down below to get some ideas of repurposing. All this to say, you want to work with your capacity. You want to be very selective with your platforms. You don't want to be everywhere all at once. You want to choose one high traffic, one community, tie it up together with a nice bow with emails. Once you feel like you have a good handle or you can start to hire some marketing help, then you can add more platforms. So download the Notion workbook down below if you haven't already, flesh out your marketing strategy. And once you've done that, I'll see you in the next video.